Hello and welcome to the channel and welcome to my Space Marines 10th edition index review. It's not going to be a full review because it's 250 pages, but I will go through some of the key changes, differences and pick out some of the key units and things like that. If you like the content, smash the like button, hit subscribe. There's plenty of content on the channel, and if you want to, you can become a YouTube channel member. So let's get into it. Space Marines. They get something called Open Moment. If you don't know what Open Moment is yet by now, you've been living in a hole in the ground. Open Moment, in your command phase, you can pick an enemy unit or a unit from your opponent's army. To your next command phase, everything that attacks that unit can reroll hits and wounds. Very, very strong against pretty much anything except for armies that have lots of small units. So that's really, really good. And here it simply mentions that some characters and units will have a chapter keyword as well as the Astartes keyword. It's essentially to stop you from having Manius Kelgar and Commander Dante, for example, in the same army. If you're picking things with a chapter keyword, you can't pick anything else with a different chapter keyword. Okay, let's move on to the detachment rule for the Gladiator Task Force. Combat Doctrines. Devastating, Tactical and Assault. You can pick each of these once per game and you choose them in the command phase if you want to have one. And they last until your next command phase. So there is the Devastating Doctrine, the Tactical and the Assault. Devastating Doctrine enables you to advance and shoot. Sounds quite handy if you've got lots of guns and lots of terrain to get around. So that's quite a good one. Tactical Doctrine allows you to declare a charge or shoot when you fall back. Sounds a bit ultramarine-y to Marie, but there you go. That's a good one. And Assault Doctrine enables you to advance and charge. Good if you've got lots of combat units who need to get up in the enemy's face and give them a good stab with a power sword. So there we go. Each of your doctrines you can use once, each of them once per game, and they last essentially a battle round from your command phase into your next command phase. Moving on to the stratagems. Some of these are good, some of these are not so good, but I think most of all they're pretty good. So only left as duty end essentially means for 2 CP you can fight before you die, essentially. But it's for any unit, not just characters. So if someone charges your unit of Terminators, for example, you can pay a couple of CP and hit them back even if you die, basically. So that's nice, I guess. Armor of Contempt, this is a really good one. 1 CP, reduce attacks, armor penetration on one of your units by 1. You can use it in the shooting phase or the fight phase. Very, very good. We saw how useful the rule was when it was an army-wide rule in 9th. Reducing AP by 1. It's very, very good. Very, very powerful. Especially now in 10th that AP across the board seems to have been reduced somewhat. Very handy. Honour the chapter. In the fight phase, pick one of your units, and you can get the Lance ability, which essentially gives you +1 to wound, I believe, if you charge. And if your unit is under the effects of the Assault Doctrine, you get an extra AP as well. So that's a nice one. 1 CP, very nice. Moving on to Adaptive Strategy. This essentially for 1 CP enables one of your units to be in a different doctrine. That command phase, which is it's very handy, it's very flexible. That's not bad, that's fine. We have Storm of Fire. This is in your shooting phase. It enables one of your units to ignore cover, and if you're in the Devastator Doctrine, increase your AP by 1. Again, that's quite a nice one to have. Squad Tactics as well. This is something you can do in your opponent's movement phase after they move within 9 inches of one of your mounted units, for example your bikes. And you can move your bikes. It's quite nice, really. Move them D6 inches. So if someone's moving to, let's say, get a charge off on your bikes, you can think, you know what, I'm going to move D6 inches away. But if you're in the Tactical Doctrine, you can just move a flat 6. Very, very nice. Nice reactive stratagem there. There we go. You can obviously pick units that are in engagement range because that would be falling back, not normal moving. Okay, enhancements. These are things you can give your characters. Some of them are quite good. Artificial Armour, that's a good one. Give a character a 2+ save and a 5 shrug. Very handy on, for example, a Gravis Captain, who's very tough, has lots of wounds and halves damage. You can make him very, very difficult to kill. There is the Honour Virulent. You can give an extra attack and strength, and in the Assault Doctrine, you can have extra 2 attacks and 2 strength. So that's quite nice. Makes one of your characters a bit more choppy. Don't know why it says Adeptus Astartes model only. Surely they're all going to be Adeptus Astartes. It's the Space Marine Index, but never mind. Captain model only, Adept of the Codex. I think this essentially means that you can put his unit in a different doctrine. If you're doing something, doctrine is active for the bearer's unit only. Yes, there we go. So if you got your Primaris captain, he can lead his intercessors in the tactical doctrine, even if the rest of the army is in, for example, the assault doctrine or no doctrine. So that's nice. Bolter discipline essentially gives the character's unit sustained hits 1 when you're shooting things. Very nice if you've got lots of shots. If you're also in the Devastator doctrine, you get that going off from 5s and 6s, not just 6s, for critical hits. Very, very nice. Okay, let's get into the data sheets. I'm not going to go through all of them, but let's go through a Primaris captain. Here's the first one here. His stat line seems to be pretty much the same as before. Weapons all gone down on AP pretty much as expected, but nothing to write home about here in terms of weapons loadouts. One thing you will notice now, that relic shields on units that already have a 4+ invulnerable save get an extra wound. So you can have a Primaris captain with 6 wounds if you want to. Rites of battle, I think this is something that all the captains have. Once per battle round, you may use a stratagem for 0 CP, even if you've already used it. Very handy. And once per battle, you can give them an extra 3 attacks and give them devastating wounds. So you can make your captains for 1 fight extra killy. As I mentioned, all the captains pretty much have these rules, pretty much. Some of them have slightly different ones. Primaris captain can lead Primaris units. No surprise there. So that's your Intercessors, your Blade Guard, your Hellblasters, Inferno Squad, Intercessor Squad, and Sternguard Veterans, because apparently Sternguard Veterans are Primaris now. Moving on to the Captain in Gravis Armour, as I mentioned earlier. They're pretty difficult to kill. They're toughness 6. Gravis Armour grants you a toughness 6. Tougher than a Terminator. Almost as tough as a Custody Terminator. Toughness 7. So yeah. Captain Gravis Armour, toughness 6, 6 wounds, very, very nice, very difficult to kill. If you give him the 2+ armor save and a 5 shrug on top of that, he's very difficult to kill because he has something called Refuse to Yield. He halves all damage. He is a bit of a tank, this guy. He gets lots of melee weapons, lots of extra attacks as well, so he's very, 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 very choppy. As usual, he gets rights of battle, and he can lead, surprise, surprise, Gravis units. Moving on to a captain in Phobos armor. Nothing really to write home about here. He gets infiltrators because he's a Phobos captain, so he can forward deploy. He can lead units. I'm pretty sure all the ones he can lead are Phobos units. Let's have a look. Oh look, Phobos units and scouts. And he gets stealth, so he's -1 hit. That cloak of invisibility, really doing some hard work there. As all the other captains, he gets rights of battle again. He also gets something called Master of Deceit, which I think allows you to redeploy some Phobos or scout units, and it is actually after you know who's going first. Very handy. Okay, moving on, we've got more captains. Captain in Terminator armor. Well, I think I've had enough of captains, to be honest. Let's find something else. Oh, captain with jump pack. Okay, this one's slightly different. So it's a captain with a jump pack. As mentioned, relic shields give extra wounds now. That's really good. He gets rights of battle. That's really good. This guy, though, when he leads a unit, which has to be a jump pack unit because he's a captain with jump pack, when they're in a charge move, you get +1 to strength on the charge with your, your assault marines or your Vanguard veterans with jump packs. Pretty good. Nothing else really to write home about there. He's a captain with captain on bike. His thing for the unit that he leads gives his bikes the assault ability, so they can advance and shoot. If they got a captain on bike leading your bike squads. Primaris Lieutenant. Let's move on to one of the many varieties of lieutenants you can have as a Space Marines player. Okay, he has tactical precision. When he leads a unit, they will get lethal hits. That means critical hits will automatically wound. Very nice. No more of these wound rolls of 1, just auto wounding on a 6 if you hit rolls. Very nice. Target priority. His unit can also fall back, shoot and charge. Very, very nice. On, let's say, a unit of Hellblasters. Okay, moving on to something else. It's a Lieutenant in Reaver armor. Does anyone care about Reavers anymore? I'll just move on. Lieutenant in Phobos armor. You can deep strike apparently, that's quite cool, isn't it? You can also infiltrate, and he can scout move 6 inches as well. So that's very good. You can infiltrate and get a scout move. You can get right in your opponent's grill with this chap. When he's leading in unit, they get 4 hits again, same as all the other lieutenants. And in the shooting phase after he's shot, you can make a normal move. So again, move, shoot, move shenanigans there by the Phobos. Okay, let's move on to something else. Normal lieutenant. Primaris librarians. These guys are looking quite tasty. Unlike the Tyranid sort of smitey specialists, who didn't necessarily have hazardous focus witchfires, the Space Marine ones, they are a bit hazardous if they try and harness the warp, so there's a little bit of danger there. But these guys are very useful. If he's leading a unit, they get a 4+ invulnerable save. That's very, very good. And they get a 4+ for no pain against psychic attacks, so that's handy. So he's a really good character, not necessarily to kill things, but to make your unit a lot more durable. Park this guy next to some Hellblasters and watch those Hellblasters all have a 4+ invulnerable save. Sounds lovely. Moving on to a normal librarian. Oh no, it's one in Phobos armor, so he can infiltrate, so he can forward deploy. His focus witchfire and force weapons are the same as the other chap. Again, psychic could, so you get a no pain against psychic attacks. But this one means when he's leading a unit, they can only be targeted if they're within 12 inches. So that's nice, and they get the stealth ability. Although I think all the units he leads have stealth anyway because they're Phobos units. But okay, they can't be shot if you're more than 12 inches away. That's nice. Librarian in Terminator armor. Again, we've seen most of this on the War Comp already. Feel no pain against psychic attacks. I think we know what psychic could does by now. But when this guy's leading a unit, they get exploding hits. Sustained hits 1. So that's nice if he's leading a unit of, I don't know, Terminators with lots of storm bolters and assault cannons. Lots of volume of attacks. You're going to get even more hits. Very, very nice. Okay, moving on to a normal librarian. Same as a Primaris librarian, just worse. Okay, Primaris Chaplain. Here we go. Chaplains. These guys are cool. They've got a big hitty stick. And he has the Litany of Hate. All the chaplains have Litany of Hate, which essentially means when you hit things in combat, you get +1 to wound. That's nice, isn't it? +1 to wound. That used to be 2 CP in your life. Now you just get it if you've got a chaplain in your unit. Very nice. And then once per unit, that's the other phase, you can select another friendly unit that is battle shocked and within 12 inches of him, and then no longer battle shocked. So that's very, very handy. Once per battle at the start of any phase. So you can do that at the start of your command phase to if something's battle shocked and go, no, they're able to hold that objective now. So that's quite good. Right, other chaplains, essentially the same thing again. Litany of Hate. This is one in Terminator armor. He can also deep strike because he's in Terminator armor. While he's leading a unit, they get feel no pain against mortal wounds. 4 up. Very nice. Very nice. Terminators with short shrugs to mortal wounds. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Moving on to a chaplain on bike. Yes, he's on a bike. So, funnily enough, he can lead bikey units. I think they're only Primaris ones, though. Oh no, he can lead normal bike squads as well. Very nice. Cool. Okay, so he gets Litany of Hate again, +1 wound in combat, and he also gets Catechism of Fire. So when his unit is selected to shoot, you can select any unit within 12 inches, and until the end of that phase, you get devastating wounds with your ranged attacks. So you're able to dish out mortal wounds with your bikes with their bolt guns. Huzzah! Okay, moving on to a standard chaplain. He's like the Primaris chaplain, but slightly worse. Nothing else to say there. Right. Chaplain with jump pack. It's like the normal chaplain we've just seen, but he's got a jump pack. Except for he does also have the Exaltation of Rage and Deep Strike, which is very nice because, well, he's got a jump pack. Each time this modelled unit is selected to fight, you can select one enemy unit of engagement range, and they can take mortal wounds on a roll of 4 to 5, or 6 takes even more mortal wounds. So yeah, okay, so you can fly into things and do mortal wounds. Nice. Okay, Tech Marines. What do Tech Marines do? So they can lead units. What units can Tech Marines actually lead? Actually, intercessors, servitors, and assault intercessors. Okay, interesting. While he is within 3 inches though of a vehicle, he does get the lone operative keyword. So if he's walking around next to your repulsor, executioner, tank of doom, you can't shoot the Tech Marine unless he's within 12 inches. So that's nice. In case you don't want to put him in a unit of intercessors. But once per turn in your command phase, you can point at one of your vehicles within 3 inches, heal it D3 wounds, and give it +1 a hit as well. That's nice. So attack wounds are still doing the same sort of thing. And if a friendly vehicle model is destroyed within 12 inches of him, his X gets 7 attacks instead of 4. So he gets really angry if you take out one of his little mates. Right, moving on. Tech Marine, same as Primaris Tech Marine, but worse. Okay, servitors, nobody cares about those. Intercessor Squad. They're your jack of all trades unit with bolt rifles and things. They run around and shoot stuff. What's important about these guys is, though, they do allow you to have sticky objectives. So that's nice. Objective secured. Okay, moving on to the Infernus Squad. They're like intercessors, but with flamers. But instead of getting sticky objectives, these chaps have purged the foe. So in the shooting phase, after they've shot something, you can select enemy unit that's been hit. They automatically hit. So you can select the unit you've set them as a target, basically, and they must take a battle shot test. Very nice. Also very handy for Overwatch. Moving on to the Assault Intercessors. They're like intercessors, but they've got chainsaws instead of bolt rifles. But they get Shock Assault. I wondered if this rule Shock Assault would come out somewhere. So each time a model in this unit targets an enemy unit with a melee attack, you can reroll wounds of 1. That's nice. If it's in range of an objective marker, you can reroll all the wounds. Okay, so they're Space Marine Gene Stealers. Right, okay. The Librarian with Jump Pack. Okay. What's this guy do that's different to a normal Librarian? Well, this model is leading a unit. Improve the AP of weapons by 1. Oh, that's quite handy. Okay, so you can have Vanguard vets with an extra AP if you've got a flying Librarian with them. Cool, okay. This Lieutenant with combi weapon, he's the new guy with bits of Terminator on him. He looks nice, doesn't he? We've all seen him before. Heavy Intercessors, here we go. This is something different and interesting. Gravis, toughness 6, I like it. They also get all his dust, essentially. If you hit them with damage 1, they get +1 to their save. So against bolt guns, they'll be getting a 2-up save at toughness 6. That's nice, isn't it? 3 wounds. And the heavy bolt rifles now, like the normal bolt rifles, are just assault and heavy rather than having the 3 different variants. So they all just get 2 attacks. That's 5 minus 1 AP. But if you stay still, you hit on 2s. If you're advancing, you can still shoot. So that's quite nice. Okay. Moving on, Infiltrators. They still do what Infiltrators do. You can't set reinforcements within 12 inches of these guys. So that's good. You also get a 6 feel no pain though from your Healer's Corner, which is interesting. And if you use a stratagem on them on a 5-up, you get it back essentially. So that's nice. Moving on to the Incursors. They get a scout move. That's nice. These guys get a scout move. No, they just infiltrate. Okay, so Incursors can't infiltrate, but they get a scout move. Okay, fine. Multi-spectrum array. In your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, select one enemy unit that has been hit by 1 or more attacks by this unit. Until the end of the phase, if something else shoots it, you get +1 a hit. That's nice. So you can shoot something with these guys, and then everything else gets +1 hit against it. That's very handy. Haywire Mine, you can do more wounds to vehicles. Very nice. Okay, Tactical Squad. One thing I did notice about these guys is they've got a coming units of 10. But okay, I guess there's 10 in the box. Tactical Squads, they do what Tactical Squads do. Nothing's changed there. But they can fall back, shoot and charge. So that's handy, I guess. It's some would say it's tactical flexibility. Oh look, that's what they called it. Right. Scout Squads, they can infiltrate and get a scout move. I wonder if there's a thing about if you infiltrate you can't do a scout move. I'll have to look that up somewhere. But okay, infiltrators and scout moves. Guerrilla tactics, you can move off the board and go into reserves if you're, more than 6 inches away from enemy models. That used to be a strat that Phobos things could do. Now your scouts can do it. So that's nice. Oh, they do get 2 wounds. Interesting. Scout Sniper Squad, like normal scouts, except for they've got sniper rifles. And you can only shoot them if you're within 12 inches, probably because of these cloaks they've got. Okay, cool. Moving on. Company Champion, he's good at hitting characters. You can reroll hits and wounds against them. Martial superiority. He's got quite a stabby weapon here. Mastercrafted power sword. That's quite good. Okay. Very nice. I think you can, what was it? Add 1 to advance and charge rolls for his unit that he's leading as well, so that's nice. And they can heroically intervene for free. Okay. It's quite a handy little character to have then, isn't he? Walking around with your blade guard maybe. Okay, moving on. Apothecaries. Now there's a couple of apothecaries here, because we now have a Gravis Apothecary. Apothecaries can lead units. While he's leading a unit, you can heal a guy in the command phase. Okay, fine. When his bodyguard unit dies, though, on a 2+, you get a CP. So essentially, you'll take an apothecary just to maybe get a CP. He doesn't give shrugs or anything, and he can just bring one guy back a turn, assuming his unit hasn't been wiped out. Not sure what I make about apothecaries in this edition, but okay, that's an apothecary. What else have we got here that's interesting? Ancients. Oh, what do ancients do now? Get +1 to objective control for your unit that he leads. Probably because he's got a really big flag. While this model is in range of an objective marker and within 6 inches of the centre of the battlefield, that model has the Feel No Pain ability. Okay, that's rubbish, because why can't he just give his units Feel No Pain? Okay, moving on. Blade Guard Ancient. He's like an Ancient. Except for he leads Blade Guard. Ancients for Terminators. Ancients for Days. Blade Guard Veterans. Okay, these guys are good. They're nice and choppy. Not much has changed with these chaps. 3-up save with a 4+ invulnerable save. Note they have no longer got a 2+ save, only a 3+ with the 4+ invulnerable saves. Interesting. In the fight phase though, you can select one of 2 abilities, reroll hit rolls of 1 or reroll saving throws of 1. These are the Space Marine Tyranid Warriors. Okay, Command Squad. This is where you pick your firstborn characters like Ancients and Champions and Apothecaries. They all kind of do the same thing. There we go. And you get a couple of veterans to go with them. Vanguard Veterans, here we go. Vanguard Veterans. Get a scout move of 6 inches. Interesting. On the charge, they get lethal hits. Auto wound. Interesting. Vanguard Vets with jump packs. They don't get a scout move, but they do get deep strike. I guess you don't need a scout move if you got a jump pack. You can just move 12 anyway. And yeah, once you're in the charge move, you get lethal hits. Very, very nice. So combine that with a captain and jump pack, giving you +1 strength as well. They're going to be quite pokey on the charge. Vanguard Veterans. Okay, interesting. Vanguard Veterans. These are the new Primaris Veterans. Lots and lots of combat weapons, lots of devastating wounds. And if you kill a unit with them in the shooting phase, once per battle, you can shoot again. That's nice, isn't it? So you pick on something small, kill it, and then just shoot something else that you really wanted to shoot in the first place. Judicia, he's quite useful. You can give a unit a fight first. The thing is with these characters though, you can only put 1 per unit though, can't you? So you've got to pick very carefully about which characters you actually want, I guess. I think he's going to be outclassed by some of the other characters. But, okay. Reavers, nobody cares about Reavers. Oh, let's read about Reavers. Okay, what do they get? Scout move. At the start of the fight phase, you can force battle shot tests. Enemy units get -1 leadership. Okay, so these are the guys that force battle shock. That's about it, by the looks of it. Makes a normal, advanced, fallback, or charge move. Ignore any vertical distance. And they get deep strike. Okay. Big work. Aggressors. Toughness 6 again. If you shoot the nearest thing, you get increased AP. I guess that could be handy with your Flamestorm gauntlets, getting a bit of AP. That's nice, isn't it? And they ignore cover and they automatically hit, and you can reroll wounds with them, and each one will have D6 +1 hits. Interesting. Previously I think they had 2d6 hits, now it's d6 +1, so you get less hits, but they ignore cover and you can reroll wounds. And probably an extra AP. Interesting. Okay, Power Fists. Oh, these hit on force now. And you get 3 attacks, but you can't reroll wounds. Okay, cool. Terminators Assault Squad. We haven't seen these chaps yet. They get Thunder Hammers or Lightning Claws. Lightning Claws you can roll wounds. They're Lightning Claws. Thunder Hammers can do devastating wounds. Very, very nice. Storm Shields for Terminators give you an extra wound. So you get 4 wound Terminators walking around. Oh, that's nice. When they charge, the enemy must take a battle shock test. I mean, I'd be quite shocked if I got hit by a Terminator as well. And they get a teleport hammer. So at the start of the battle, you can put a teleport hammer down and then do rapid ingress for no CP. And down come the Terminators. Very nice. Normal Terminator Squad, we've seen them. They got Fury of the First, that's quite cool. They got +1 hit against your over moment target. And they ignore hit modifiers, business skill, weapon skill modifiers. Very, very nice. Relic Terminator Squads, they get Fury of the First as well. They also get grenades, which is interesting. Okay, moving on to Centurions. These are Custodes, but they wear blue. They are toughness 7 with a 2+ save and 4 wounds. All they're chunky boys. Many shots. Many punches in combat with those sea straws, which are now twin linked. Very nice. Very nice. Many weapons equipped by models in this unit have the sustained hits 2 ability when targeting monsters, vehicles, or fortifications. Ooh, so these guys really want to be hitting enemy tanks then. Nice. Okay. Centurion Devastator Squad, same as the other guys, but with big guns basically. And your reroll hit rolls of 1. And if you're shooting something within range of an objective marker, you reroll all hit rolls. So that's nice, isn't it? Okay, these guys are looking quite an interesting option, to be fair. Very chunky, very difficult to kill, quite killy. Invicta Tactical Warsuit, the classic baby carrier. What can he do? He can do lots of things. He's got combat support, so if a Phobos infantry unit gets shot nearby, he can shoot them back. That's quite nice. He's now got 12 wounds and toughness 8, so he might not fall over quite as easily as he does now. Guns do what's expected, some of them are twin linked, that's nice. Okay, moving on. The Dreadnought. Now I've got something to say about this Dreadnought. Yes, so the Dreadnoughts. I believe recently GW said they're no longer going to be producing the Dreadnought, but they will continue to produce the Venerable Dreadnought, although in the index they have a Dreadnought, but they don't have a Venerable Dreadnought. So that's interesting. But in any case, Dreadnoughts, what do? Toughness 9, 2+ save, very nice, 8 wounds. Okay, chunky. All the starting units within 6 inches can reroll hit rolls of 1 with some of the Ancients, but without needing the CP. Very nice. Still quite killing in combat with the old Dreadnought combat weapon. 5 attacks, strength 12, 3 damage, very nice. One thing I don't like about these Dreadnoughts is the twin las cannon is no longer 2 shots, it's now just 1 shot, but you can reroll wounds. I think I prefer to have 2 shots, to be honest, and not have to reroll wounds. But okay, fine. Other than that, all is standard. Moving on to the Contemptor Dreadnought, these are quite nice. Similar to the normal Dreadnought here. Got a bit of a boost with toughness and saves, but he's got 10 wounds, the Contemptor Dreadnought. And he has a 5+ invulnerable save, which is nice. Basically, first time he's destroyed, on a 2+, you pick him back up again with D6 wounds remaining. I can see these being ran quite a lot, especially with the multi-metal variant. Okay, Contemptor Dreadnoughts, they're cool. The Ironclad Dreadnought. It's a Dreadnought, but more chunky, better against vehicles. Moving on, nobody uses them anymore. Redundant Dreadnoughts. They're Redundant Dreadnoughts. They now have 12 wounds. They've gone down in wounds, but they've got a better save and better toughness. Toughness 8, 2+ save. Toughness 10, sorry, 2+ save. I think I might have said 8. Probably because I was looking at the 8 for movement. That's the same. Okay, all its guns are basically the same. Less AP on the Gatling cannon, but you get devastating wounds. Yeah, kind of the same, I guess. Macroplasma is basically the same, except you get D6+1 attacks now, which is nice. AP is a little bit less. Damage is the same, yeah. But yeah, nothing to write home about there in terms of difference. Redemptive Fist is just flat 3 damage now rather than D3+3. You get 5 attacks now, that's standard, which is nice, hitting on freeze. Good thing about this guy is he still actually reduces damage by 1, whereas nothing else seems to. So if you want a survivable Dreadnought, you bring this guy, I guess. He's a jack of all trades Dreadnought. He's nice. Brutalis Dreadnought. He's a Dreadnought, but he's more brutal. He has multi-melters. That's what I'd give him anyway. The twin multi-melters, which are twin linked. Oh, that's painful. And then as he charges in, he does mortal wounds to things. Very nice. He gets more attacks than the standard Redemptor, because you can do a sweep attack or a strike attack. Strike attacks still get even more attacks, and they can twin linked, so you can reroll these wounds. Very nice. Very nice. We've got the Ballistas Dreadnought. It's the one with the big guns and the rocket launchers, and yet for some reason his las cannon does actually give you 2 shots, but it's not twin linked. Why can't the normal Dreadnought be like that? But if you shoot something against a unit that's not below half strength, you can reroll hit roll. That's nice. Thing is though, half the time he's going to be shooting at probably whatever you've oath of momented anyway, so okay. Assault Squad. They're like tactical marines, but kitted out for combat. You can select one of these abilities when they fight, just Again, for exploding hits, 6 is auto wound or +1 to wound. Very nice. Very nice. Assault Squad with jump packs. Don't get that option, but they can do, mortal wounds. Each time this unit ends a charge move, select one of the unit from engagement range, roll the dice, on a 4-up, they take 1 mortal wound. To be honest, I think I'd rather have the guys without the jump packs and get some of these things. But okay. And of course they can destrike because they've got jump packs. Outrider Squad. Still get many attacks with the old chainsword here. Choppy. That's nice. Still got the twin bolt rifle. It's twin link now, which is nice. So you get 2 shots and you can reroll wounds with it. It's still auto advancing 6. That's the same. You get invader ATVs which can join the squad. Speaking of which, here's an invader ATV. Any mounted unit that's nearby gets shot at, you can shoot them back. So he's a bit like the Invictor Warsuit. You can support friendly units when they get shot at by shooting them back. So that's nice. Okay. Moving on. Bike Squad. Nothing really much has changed. They're just bikes. Scout Bike Squad. They can outflank and they get a pre-game move. That's nice. Okay. Attack Bike Squad. Again, they get this sort of fire support thing, which we've seen before with Invader ATVs and not Outriders, what they call it, Invictor Warsuits. So if bikes get shot nearby, they can shoot back. That's nice. Okay. You get, oh, okay, we've got extra wound. He's got 5 wounds. Pretty sure they had 4 before. That's tasty. Okay, Suppressor Squad. Nobody cares about them. Or you can now make an enemy -1 to hit. That's quite good. Inceptors, what do Inceptors do now? Still quite shooty. Still do what they do. Toughness 6, obviously, because they're Gravis now. Meteoric Descent. When this unit is set up on the battlefield using Deep Strike, it can do this. If it does, you can set up anyone on the battlefield more than 3 inches away, but cannot charge. Why on earth would you charge? But basically, in that, you can Deep Strike them wherever you want, but you can't charge. But you wouldn't charge these guys anyway. You just, yeah, basically, you can put them wherever you want and blast this bejesus out of something. Loads of land speeders. They all get Deep Strike now, which is nice. And they get a few extra things. Let's go through this one. Hail Strike. Each time this model is shot, select the enemy model that's been shot at. If you've hit it, whenever things shoot it, you get an extra AP. That's nice, isn't it? Okay, Thunder Strike. What does this one do? Get +1 wound for other units that shoot the same thing he shot at, if they're monsters or vehicles. Yeah, so it looks as though the speeders, essentially, you shoot them first and then other things get bonuses for shooting the same target. So that's quite nice. Let's find something else more interesting. Here is something more interesting. The Hellblasters. Here we go. So they've had the same treatment the bolt rifles had. You now just have one type of plasma incinerator rather than the free. But they do all get the assault and heavy now, so you can advance and shoot with all of them, or you can still and shoot with all of them, getting +1 to hit. And they all have 2 shots now. Strength 8 or Strength 7, and AP 3 or AP 2, or Damage 2 or Damage 1, depending if you want to supercharge or not. Which is interesting. There's a nice little thing here, which basically says every time one of the models dies, on a 3+, you can shoot them. So, yeah, and that includes if one of them blows up with the plasma gun, you get to shoot again with that guy who just shot with his plasma and killed himself. So, yeah, that's quite cool. I like that. Extra shots from the Hellblasters. I like it. What else have we got here? Eliminators, these are the Phobos snipers. They have infiltrators and stealth, so you can forward deploy. They might just want to hit. Makes sense to me. They've got very nice las fusils still, which are quite cool. And they've got the bolter sniper rifle, which you'll hit on 2s. It's got precision and it's 3 damage now. Ooh, look out, characters. You're going to get your head shot off. Reposition under covering fire in your shooting phase after this unit shot. If it contains a sergeant with a bolter, you can move. So basically you can move, shoot, move, but then you can't charge. Why would you charge with eliminators? And if the unit remains stationary, ranged weapons by the models in this unit have the devastating wounds ability. Ooh, they could, yeah, characters beware. What else have we got here? Eradicators. Okay, Eradicators, yeah, Gravis treatment, toughness 6. Melter rifles, they are heavy, so you get +1 a hit if you stay still. Very nice. Melter 2, so you get extra 2 damage within half range, although the range is only 18 now, not 24. So that's something to bear in mind. So to get your extra damage on melters now, you've got to be really close at 9 inches. But okay, but strength 9, AP 4, I like that. Okay, fine. In addition, total obliteration has changed. Instead of getting double shots, what you do is if you shoot monsters or vehicles, you can reroll hit rolls and wound rolls and damage rolls. Because of over moment, you're probably going to be rerolling hit rolls and wound rolls anyway, but rerolling the damage on a d6 damage weapon is very good for reliable damage. So okay, they're still quite good at taking out tanks, so that's good. Devastator Squad, these guys look quite good. They look pretty devastating if you ask me. Each time they remain stationary, they ignore cover, and you want to remain stationary anyway, because then you get your +1 to hit. So that's nice, but then you'll only be hitting on 3s with heavy weapons anyway, because they're hitting on 4s normally. So okay, fine. Once per battle though, you can make one of the hit rolls into a 6. Okay, fine. Desolation Squad, these are the Nerf gun guys. The Nerf guns have changed a bit, but they're still Nerf guns. You got the indirect fire one, you got the super crack one. You got a nice mixture of things here, and if they remain stationary, they also ignore cover and things, so that's nice. They also ignore penalties to hit rolls when shooting indirect fire weapons. So when they're shooting things that are not visible to them, so essentially you don't get the indirect fire nerf for the Vengerer launcher or the Castellan launcher if they remain stationary, and they're indirect fire, so you're probably going to remain stationary anyway. But yeah, okay. Desolation Squad, Nerf gun guys, still doing what Nerf gun guys do. Thunderfire cannon. Does anyone still use these things? Moving on, fast strike servo turrets. They still do the same sort of thing. Slightly better Overwatch now apparently. Hunters. I'll find something else useful. I'll be back. I found something else useful. The Predator. Predator Destructor, in fact. Got toughness 10 now, but it is now a bit slower. Movement 10, so 12. Has still got 11 wounds. The autocannon now is rapid fire 2, which is interesting. And it has 4 attacks. Rapid fire 2 means instead of having 1 extra attack at half range, you get 2 extra attacks at half range, right? So if you shoot something within 24 inches, you're gonna have 12 attacks with this autocannon. That's strength 9, -1, 3 damage. That sounds pretty tasty to me. Probably don't want to be within 24 inches of things, but even at longer range, you're still going to get 4 shots, which is pretty decent. When it's shooting infantry, you get extra AP as well. So this is definitely your anti-infantry tank to take out infantry. Moving on to the next tank, the Predator Annihilator. It twin las cannon on the top now, no longer has 2 shots, but it does get twin linked. Okay, fine. But when it makes a range attack against monsters or vehicles, you can reroll damage rolls of 1. So you're always going to essentially get at least 3 damage out of those las cannons realistically, because they're d6 +1, and you can reroll when you roll a 1. So okay, that's nice, I guess. Moving on to Gladiators. They're like Predators, but Polaris versions. So naturally, they've got more wounds, and lots of different guns. The Lancer Laser Destroyer still looks ridiculous. It gets heavy, so you still hit on 2s with these 2 attacks, strength 14, -4, d6 +3 damage. Oh my god! Right, they look pretty good. Gladiator Reaper. This is the many Gatling gunshots. It's twin linked, which is nice. It's better than the one on the Redemptor Dreadnought. Other than that, it's about the same. And when it's shooting it, you get sustained hits 2 when targeting infantry. So every 6 to hit is 2 extra hits. This will murder hordes as if they weren't even there. Very nice. Interesting. Okay. Obviously we don't know points and things yet, but some of these look quite tasty. Gladiator Valiant with the twin las talon, which does get 2 shots and is twin linked. Okay, so that's just better than the Predator Annihilator in every single way. Why would you take a Predator Annihilator? You get +1 to the hit roll when shooting monsters or vehicles as well. So that's nice. Okay, moving on. We have the Vindicator. Toughness 11, 2 + save, 11 wounds. So he's quite a chunky boy. I do like the Demolisher cannons now, having new blast of having +1 for every 5 rolls in the unit. It gets d6 +3 attacks as standard now, so it's not as swingy. Strength 14, which is very good. Minus 3 AP, very good. D6 damage, swingy, but again, you're getting more attacks. So yeah, okay, I quite like the Demolisher Cannons now. They've got a Sea Shield as well, so when you're making ranged attacks with its Demolisher Cannon, this model can target enemy units within engagement range of it, provided no friendly units are also within engagement range. So basically, you can Demolisher Cannon people into the face, because you've got a big shield in the way. And it does not suffer the penalty to hit rolls for being within engagement range as well. Very nice. Okay, well, we've got the Land Raider. Toughness 12, 2 plus save, 16 wounds. Very, very chunky. This can move, you can disembark the unit and it can still make a charge. Very nice. I like the assault ramp thing coming back into the game. And it's got the Godhammer las cannons. It's got 2 of them, so essentially it's got 4 las cannon shots. Very nice. I much prefer having 2 shots than being 1 shot and twin linked. I like that very much. Land Raider Crusader, it's like the other Land Raider with bolt guns. Land Raider Redeemer, like the other one, but with heavy flamer things. We have the Repulsors. These are like the Land Raiders, but Primera's variant with a billion different guns. You get emergency combat embarkation. Interesting. Okay. Oh, you can jump in it when you're getting charged. Once per turn, if your opponent's charge phase after an enemy unit has selected targets for a charge, before it makes a charge move, you can select one unit that they've charged at, provided that unit's not within engagement range, it's within 3 of the transport, it can jump in your transport. So okay, so you can have some Hellblasters outside it, they're about to get charged, and they just jump back inside. That's ridiculous. Okay. Repulsor Executioner, it's still got a page full of guns, it's just ridiculous. When it targets a unit that is below half strength, you get +1 a hit. That's nice when you've got a billion shots. Okay, I like it. Interesting. Also, Executioner, the old Rhino, the old faithful. Toughness 9, 3 plus save, 10 wounds. It can transport 10 guys and it heals itself once per turn. Oh, and it's got a firing deck, so you can shoot 2 models out the top of it. Nice. Okay, I think you can even put Hellblasters and things in these, can't you? 12 Adeptus Astartes infantry. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, it's a Rhino. Razorback. It's like a Rhino, but less transport, more guns. That's about it, really. Fire support, though. In your shooting phase, after this model has shot, select one of the unit that was shot against. Every time a unit that got out of the transport shoots at that as well, you can also reroll the wound roll. That's nice, but you're only going to have 6 guys getting out of it, so okay. Oh, and another thing, the twin las cannon is now just 1 shot and twin linked. Oh, annoying. Okay, what else we got here? They've got the Impulsor, assault vehicle. So again, this has got like the assault ramp thing the Land Raider has, so you can move it and then get the guys out and then they can charge. Very, very nice. Normally with transport now, you can only get out and charge before they move, or after they've moved, get out and then just shoot. You can't charge or move or anything. So that's very, very good. But they do count as having made a move, it just means they can charge once they've got out. So, okay, that's cool. It also gets 5 plus invulnerable save because it's got a shield dome. And while an Astartes unit within 6 inches uses a stratagem, you can, on a 5-up, get a CP back. So that's quite nice. Orbital comms array. Yeah, that's quite cool. Okay, what else we got here? Drop pod. They're drop pods. You don't know what they do with that. More land speeders, more land speeders. Got some planes with guns, planes with guns, planes with guns, planes with guns, planes with guns. What can this thing try? Oh, anyway, he's got -1 damage, this chap. Storm Raven gunship. Okay, okay. Cheeky, cheeky. What can he transport? He can transport dreadnoughts. He can transport a Brutalis dreadnought. Oh my days. Powerful bunker. Oh, are these actually any good now? I could have a quick look, but I can't bother. The answer is probably no. This looks like those are guns. And then we get to all the named characters, and I'm not going to go for all the named characters. There's so many of them. But that is my quick Space Marines review. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.